Oh, okay. So first of all, let's find out. I mean, in your group, were you meta man? So I said, this is a job for meta man, you know. Meta woman, meta person. Well, was there, in your group, what happened?
I think the guy that did this part did excellent.
He did excellently, okay. Did anybody, I mean, even though the person did excellently, because I would validate that your identities are all excellent, but have any specific behavior problems, that is, to have a difficulty with accomplishing one of these particular maneuvers. In other words, to see how I might go about dealing with the same issue with your group. Who? Which two? Pat and who? Do you want to do yours? See how we. Where did you end up with? Did you? Yeah. Well, I don't know. Does your partner think so? No, we didn't. Yes, we did. I thought we did a resolution. No. Wait a minute. Well, because I mean, what would be useful is we could have, if somebody just wanted to be a live, one of your groups be a live demonstration, we can show how to do some of these things. We just need somebody to do it. Richard, do you want to do it here?
What's the question? Does someone volunteer to be up there?
Yeah, group. I mean, to do your group, so we don't have to figure out a role play. Just do a role play.
I didn't role play.
To continue on your role play.
No, you role play.
I know what you were like.
I role played.
Who is it that you want to? Do you guys?
Yeah.
Why don't you two guys go up? You were great. Go.
Okay.
This was a good one.
All right. So let's see how we would do it. Have a seat. Go for it. We'll see what we would do here. Using some. So.
The problem is he's a wimp. I mean, I'm saying fairly, he's always wimp. He's always overgeneralizes. He's never specific. He's just always placates it all.
Just in the big picture, you have to take things in context and just
He's saying.
okay. In the big picture, you just take everything and just not be too concerned about it, and just don't be disassociated and don't become involved in a specific controversial item.
But you're so spineless. You never get down to issues. You never. If someone was raping your wife, you'd say, please don't, or after you're finished.
Context. Probably that's not a specific area, or that is a specific area, but you want to look at the overall area of how things are generally perceived and how one should take them.
First we have to set a metaframe here. Okay, so I just want to we're here, what's going on here. They're giving you information about criteria, and of course about the meta patterns that they're using in terms of sleight of mouth. So the first thing I want to know, though, if I was working in this group, is, well, what are you doing here? What do you want? I mean, what is your outcome?
Some idiot said I had to do this as an exercise. I haven't the foggiest notion what I'm doing here. I'm trying to get credit, certification or something, so I can cure people like you do.
Well, I mean, what difference does it make to you if this person is spineless or not? I mean, I'm just curious.
Well, to be specific, it irritates every fiber of my body.
And I'm saying just look at the big picture and relax, and don't get yourself involved in situations where you have to become where you cannot adjust, and be flexible.
Okay, so now first thing is when I go for a metaframe, he actually puts a metaframe here where he says, well, I'm just here because somebody said I had to be here. I mean, it's not an uncommon kind of a frame if you just look at the form of it and not the content. Well, some idiot told me that I was supposed to do this, blah, blah, blah. So what I want to do for you is say, okay, well, since this frame is you got to do something here in order to learn something from it, what would you like to learn from this spineless person or with the spineless person?
Nothing. I don't think he has anything to teach. He's always so general. And he's always so goody-goody, and he's like foam or like arguing with a cloud. I don't want to learn anything from him. I just want to get him right.
Oh, you want to get him right?
Keep disassociated. And
Well, to be specific, right here now, at this moment in time, I don't want to chunk it too much smaller than that, but I could.
Yeah. So what would you want right here and now? Here's the person right here.
Well, the moment's passed. We got a new moment for him to be right.
So what would he be doing? I mean, I'm just trying to get a frame here as to what it is that how would you know if he was thinking right?
He'd be a man. He wouldn't be a spineless wimp.
Well, how would you tell
I don't want to
he's
be
a man?
judgmental, but he'd be one.
Right. Well, since you don't want to be judgmental, let's look at what specific behaviors he would be giving you to let you know that it was right.
He would argue back. He'd stand up for himself.
Well, I want to look at the general case, not a specific example. You know, take the things universally and try and see
By the
what's
way,
out there.
let's stop and also, but as long as you're working with two people, you've got some interesting things like how they go about. I mean, they're obviously in what in NLP you call a calibrated loop. These people are arguing, but they're arguing according to perfect rules. He says something, and he lets him say his thing. He's not trying to stop him, which is actually kind of an interesting thing. It's almost like he needs for him to do that in order to keep going. If he's not trying to stop him and say, quit doing that or don't do that, he's actually, I mean, I'm just looking at their pattern of behavior, because if you ever do work with two people, you want to kind of make some general observations about, well, how do they interact together? He's not interrupting him. He lets him talk and then responds to it. And it's like they kind of have he's giving equal time. And they're really just kind of playing polarities. They're allowing for a balanced system here. So one of the things, this is a thing to observe if you start noticing what they're doing. Now also, look at their behaviors. Because the behaviors are other things that you can use to make a difference. For example, I could say to you, imagine if I said to you, well, you see, it seems to me that there's certain specific things he wants you to see.
This big, right?
No, there's these particular things he wants you to look at.
True.
Yeah. I mean, what happens? All I'm doing is I'm taking his little thing, so I'm going, all he's saying is, let's examine what he's talking about right here. Because look at what they're doing, you know? He chunks up and he goes out here and he chunks down, and it's like what they're doing is probably the reason that they're not interrupting each other is because literally, I mean, he's up here, he's down, there's no way to interrupt. I mean, if we were both arguing about the big picture, then they go, no, that's not right, no, that's not right. I mean, and I want you to listen to how those patterns work and see how they work, because if they were both looking at a big picture and had different content, they'd be arguing about that, but they're not. They're just passing it back and forth. Here's the big one. Oh, here's this one. Here's this. So one of the things I can do, if I'm going to, instead of just pacing predicates, it seems to me that clearly one of the things that's happening here is the framework that they're in is so different. He can't even tell me, well, what would he like to get from this? I mean, he's so, like he says, he's so caught in the moment, it's hard for him to even say something. That's a metaframe, by the way. I could even be pointing that out to him. I mean, in a way, what I am doing with them is part of the intervention. By commenting on what they do, by saying, oh, well, so your only problem is just that you chunk little and he chunks big. I don't, it doesn't seem to me to be too much of an issue. Would you like him to get to, you really just want him to see the details, isn't that right?
No, I want him to stop us being a spineless wimp. To be counter-sort. When this is over, can we go? Let me know when we can go.
Okay.
Let me know when I'm a master NLP programmer I can go.
Well, since you want to be a master NLP programmer, have you been able to follow with what I said? Because you can go when you figure out how to do this.
If I could figure it out.
Consequence. Okay.
If I could figure it out here, I wouldn't need you.
Right. Oh, so you
have to look at the
need
big
me. So, okay, well, since you need me, what is it that you would most need me for in this particular situation? Because you want to, in other words, what you're saying is that you'd like to figure this thing out yourself.
No, you're generalizing. Let's get specific.
No, I'm saying
Let's get
that's-